Hello, my name is George Vaughn. Thank you for taking CMN 101, better known as speech. Let me tell you a little bit about my personal background. I grew up in the state of Mississippi. I grew up during the 60s, and I was one of the first products of integration in the state of Mississippi. I went to school probably first grade somewhere around 1971. Many of the places in the nation had moved forward, but we had not moved forward. The people in my neighborhood, the older people in my neighborhood who did not have an opportunity to go to school or go to college, many of them would often tell me, boy, go as far as you can. When I graduated from high school, many of them were still living, and they would say, boy, go as far as you can. And then when I graduated from college, some of the same people, some of the elders of my neighborhood would say, boy, go as far as you can. And when I look back, at first I thought I was going to school for just me. But I was not going to school for me. I was going to school for them as well. I was going those opportunities that they had missed or could not have. Well, not that they really missed the opportunities, they just were not there. And they wanted to make sure that I enjoyed, benefited from the fat of the land, as many of them called it. And the only way that I could benefit from the fat of the land is through education. So after I graduated from high school, I went to Jackson State University, and I stayed there for like 3 years, but I really wasn't interested in going to college. I made it look good. I went to school with my best friend and cousin Loretta, and most of the time we ended up at the mall. And I was on the Reverend George Vaughn Scholarship Fund. And so after playing around and not getting the grades that he knew that I could, he suspended me from his scholarship fund permanently. I guess that was expulsion. And then I went to Tougaloo College, and I stayed there 2 years, and I graduated. And that's where I began to find out who I was, and especially when I had to pay for it for myself. And then I went to graduate school at Morehead State University, and it was in a different place, different world, at the foothills of Appalachia, where I saw things in reverse sometimes. And so that was a good move for me. And then I went on to Maysville Community College. Some of you might even ask, why is he telling us about his personal background? Because I believe that it's tied to where you're going and where you possibly will be. When I found out that I was not going to school just for me, and every accomplishment that I've made in my life, it was not about me, but it was about the people that had cheered me on. And not only that, it was about my younger sister who was coming behind me. It was about my cousins who were coming behind me, as well as my cousins that I grew up with. Probably out of 40 grandchildren, I was the first one to graduate from college. And that was a big thing in my family. And so when I began to talk about education, I become very intense about it, because all people don't have this opportunity, or they don't have opportunities. And if you have this opportunity to come to an institution of higher learning, I always tell my students, you have to do your best. Some days you're not going to feel like it, but still do your best. Sometimes it's a C best, sometimes it's an A best. But do your best. When it comes to me and it comes to this class, I try to be as fair as I possibly can. what I do for one, I'll do for the other. I don't like secrets. I like being straight up with students. And if you're in this class, my role is to help to make you become a better speaker. Many of you might be fearful, but in this class, we talk about techniques of moving beyond the fear factor to becoming a successful speaker. We even talk about developing technical skills, or even using or applying technical skills to help one to get through a speech. And not only is it just about sounds and about words, but it's developing a logical, a well thought out speech. So in this class, we learned quite a bit about the art as well as the science of speaking and what makes a good speech. I look forward to working with each of you. I look forward to analyzing your work. I look forward to us talking about what makes great speeches. And I look forward to just seeing you from the beginning to the very end. And again, thank you. Thank you for enrolling in this class. Have a great semester. Peace and blessings to you.